white teeth.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Now you can tell him about his white teeth.
Trying to match the shoes, the white shoes, right?
You got it all going on. I'm like jealous. Okay, this is William Tincup. We are podcasting from HR Tech in Las Vegas, and we're having a lot of fun. Don, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Last day of the conference.
Well, last day of the conference, it's been a busy conference for sure.
You got to pace yourself with these things.
Dude, it is definitely a marathon. You sprint out of the gates here, you're going to be done quick.
Whenever you see some of the newbies out on the first night and you're going out, it's like, we got this party and this party and this party. This party is like,
Yeah, we'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow and see how you're still doing.
let's see how that goes for you. It's just good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. So how's been the traffic at the booth? How's been the conference for us?
It's been good. So we met with lots of analysts, lots of prospects, lots of partners. That's one of the things I love about HR Tech is just coming to see how much innovation has been put into the HR area in just the last year, and just the number of, there's just so many innovative people in this world.
It's like it changes. I mean, several acquisitions, this thing, the other. It always happens. Every year, I kind of think, no, this year's going to be kind of like, no. Something comes up.
I've been amazed at how quickly organizations have taken AI and started looking at problems and said, I can solve that, and I can solve it quickly. And so
it's really at this point, it's to the detriment if they don't try. I mean, you're not just like with a lot of things in life, you're not going to be successful with everything you try. But you've got to start asking the questions. We skipped introductions. So do me a favor and introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So Don Tomlinson, CTO at Dextra. Been in the HR tech for 25 years.
At one point, we stopped saying years.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to start talking in decades here in a little bit.
100%.
So grew up at Connexas and IBMs and UKGs, and now leading technology for Dextra.
Did you crisscross Ryan's tenure at Connexa?
We did. We were part of the Connexa crew for about 4 years together.
Lisa Sterling?
I saw Lisa 30 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
Yes.
3-2 did the EMEA for y'all. She was on here. There's a whole web from Brasserie, Connexa, and Toledo. There's just a web of PeopleSoft too, of course. There's just a web of people that are still in the industry.
I bet I've seen 25 people here that I knew before 2010.
And y'all called each other Connexans?
Connexans, yeah.
That tracks for me. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk tech. We have a technologist with us today. We're actually talking about tech. So what do you have going on with Dextra? If people are unfamiliar with Dextra, did they know them, and should they know them?
Yeah, so, Dextra was interesting. So Dextra was founded back in 2002, and we were, a lot of people in the world know us as a resume parsing company.
Right.
And so for years we were in resume parsing, then we got into search and match technologies for staffing. But now what we're really doing is we acquired a company about a year and a half ago. It's an engagement platform, and so what we're really doing is taking everything that Dextra used to do to help staffing companies, everything from Pivot with engaging candidates, bringing that together, and we're essentially a workforce automation, workflow automation, lightweight CRM.
Okay.
So we have the engagement components, SMS, WhatsApp, and so forth, and now being able to really bring candidates into the process.
Okay, so first of all, for those that are for HR providers that are unfamiliar with resume parsing, this is the technology behind the technology.
Exactly.
Genuinely speaking, it's the tech behind some of the OTS that take in that input of a resume or whatever, and then to be able to put it in the right places so that you can search.
Yeah, so we parse about 120 million resumes a month. We parse over 150,000 applications. So when I post a job, so we're extracting all the data from your job postings, over 120 million resumes per month, and taking all of that. So you imagine the data that we're sitting on, right? So.
What do you see with just on that side of the business? What do you see? Is there a play for AI there?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the areas where we have a competitive advantage, right? With AI, you can get up and going quickly. You can fail fast quickly. You can have great success. But at some point, you have to have data to really understand. And so I started actually, the very first thing I thought, wow, this is a data company. But really, it's a data company in terms of that's what informs our platform that helps us. When we say we're going to recommend this person, it's through the data that we're able to utilize.
Does that help you get to the matching side?
It did, yeah.
So you're sitting on all that, and like payroll. I don't understand how this data payroll companies are sitting on the core HR systems. They're massive, and y'all are probably equal to or more than that type of data and all those records. And again, to be able to then see what's happening in the data, that got you to a place where you could then say, with some drawbacks, you could actually, like everybody said, they're matching. Just for the record, I'm like, yeah, that's cute. So it's keyword matching. Yeah. So y'all can actually match folks to each other. Okay.
What I think though is interesting now with matching is, we're with the number of resumes, we're matching those resumes to a job description, right? And what AI enables us to do is bring explainability into it. So William, if you were a 94 for this role, and I present you to a hiring manager, they're going to say, all right, well, what makes William 94? With AI, we can now very quickly explain it and say, hey, this is why he's a 94 on this role. And by the way, he's a 78 for this role and a 96 for this other role, which he didn't even apply for, but you may want him to.
But should.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting to me is we're showing that level is the things that are contiguous. So somebody says Python development. Well, and that's all they say, but then that there's like 6 other things. They know Python. There's a probability that they know these other things as well. And hiring managers know that sometimes, but more often than not, they do it through recruiters. So it's being able to serve up both explainability, which I think is great, but also some potentiality and also some of the contiguous skills that these young folks like. We can validate all that stuff for sure, but just to be able to then say, because as a technologist, at a certain point, you've got to explain both the breadth and depth of the experience. Yeah. So you can say you're a Java developer for 14 years. Fantastic. Great. Was that one job that you did, and you did it for 14 years? And so you learned it really deep. Cool. Or was that 14 years of 400 different projects in Java? So how do I know that in the context of what you have, the skills that you have?
Yeah, that's where it's interesting. So when you start talking to recruiters, so I'm a 25-year recruiting vet that has been focused on, the tech space, and so I probably know the questions to start searching for. But if I get put on a project where I'm now hiring for welders or nurses, and I don't know that industry, I need the adjacency of the skills to be able to help me know what I should do.
100%. Then the probative question is just like someone says, R&D. It's like, okay, Louis, how long you been around? Okay, cool. What's your specialty? Okay. Delivery? Okay. So how where else do you start? What hospital? Like all that stuff that just pours out of people that live for a living. I wonder what you get these questions.
And how recently have you done it?
100%.
Is this what you did pre-COVID?
Yeah.
Is this what you studied for during COVID, or
did you get out?
Exactly.
100%. Okay, so we got parcel, we've got matching, we've covered those pretty well. What's the newest thing that you have?
Yeah, so we're really excited with the CX acquisition. So the ability to message candidates at scale, meet them where they're at.
And it's on YouTube, right?
Yep.
So it can go across.
Yeah, multiple, WhatsApp, email, SMS, whatever those channels are, and we're now able to. First of all, our goal is you post a job. Within minutes, we're going to go through your entire candidate database and say, hey, you have candidates already that match that. Let's nurture these candidates to get them to be applicants. You have applicants who see your job posting on Indeed or LinkedIn or wherever your website, and they're applying. So what we're doing is, first of all, nurturing those candidates to get them to be applies. Then we're using agents to automatically screen through those applicants, because a lot of times who knows who's actually applying to that role? And are they actually a real person? And can they, so we screen them, and then what we're doing is, essentially we're trying to go up funnel first,
Right.
create a bigger applicant pool,
Right.
and then come really quickly down funnel to, hey recruiters, here's the 10 to 15 people, out of 1,000 people we looked at, these are where you should spend your time.
The first part of that, I think meeting candidates where they are, we miss a lot of that. It's like they're on WhatsApp, and they of course keep doing something else, especially younger generations. Like my youngest son is 15, he will not be responding to that. Right. And it's not his oppositional defiance type stuff, it's just like he looks at it as arcane. And he's just like, email. Yeah, no.
I bet even at my level of organization, I bet I send less than 20 emails a week. And I probably send 25 to 30 text messages a day. So it is meeting people at every level
Wherever they are. I love that part. On the screening side of things, is there any potential, is it adding in behavioral, personality, or skills based, is it any of those types of screens?
So right now what we're doing is, you have the ability to, first of all, ask those mandatory questions.
I'm not going to.
Can you lift 50 pounds? Do you have a CDL license? Have you practiced nursing? So those are automatically, you can do that as any job descriptions. But then what we're doing is looking at the job description and the resume. We're highlighting gaps that we see that we're not seeing on the resume.
You should probably ask.
Yes, and so now we're going in and finding that out. So the cool thing there is you get to learn a lot more, but it's interesting because every single candidate has a different set of questions.
Oh, yeah.
Because every resume,
personalized
like fingerprints,
to
every resume is different. So and so we're asking those types of questions really to provide more information and explainability to the recruiters on why they should bring that to the hiring manager. Why is this candidate the new one?
Ultimately, that's what they need. They need a slate. They need that slate to be diversified and all that other stuff. But they need a slate that they can feel comfortable defending.
Exactly.
And then putting it in front of the hiring manager and being able to explain, like, hey, listen, this is what this is. These are why I think these are the best spot to take a look at. Because hiring managers, what people forget generally is that hiring managers have a job. They're doing something else. They're not professional hiring managers. This is something they do every once in a while when they have to hire. It's not like they want to do it. There's no training. It's just like they get thrown into it as experts. So, what is your take on the kind of the theme du jour of are you?
Yeah.
Right. What's happening in identity verification?
Yeah.
So you're screening. So again, you're doing all the kind of recruitment marketing, finding candidates, and getting to understand where the gaps are, doing matching, communicating, like all this wonderful stuff. Are they North Korea?
Right.
No hate. I don't know anything from I know there's a lot of deep fakes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's my example too. So what we're doing there is, it's interesting because AI is helping candidates get their resumes out there,
100%.
but it's also helping the bad actors get their information out there. And so we do have to take that into consideration. So right now we're in the process of building out newer ways of doing it, like IP detection. Are we getting multiple applicants from the exact same IP address? Where are those IP addresses coming from? The types of questions. One thing that's interesting about our agent though is think of it as almost the assistant that's working with the candidate.
Right.
At any second, I can decide, all right, now it's time for Don to get in.
Yeah.
Don's now going to be, and now I can actually go right into the agent, and then once I've asked any of the questions I want to ask, I can tell the agent, okay, go ahead and proceed. And so we're trying to use this to help the recruiters and really be able to start figuring out who is real and who isn't.
So if you ever on a deathbed or you're just bored, open up an OnlyFans account.
Okay?
Swear to God. He is by far, like leaps and bounds ahead of anybody I've ever seen authentication-wise. So it's take a picture of your driver's license, walk back and forth. Take a picture of yourself. Take a picture of yourself with your ID. Put your fingerprint on your phone. They may send you a text. They don't send you an email. Then they will send you within Instagram or TikTok or whatever. They pick the social channel. And they'll send you a message. You have to validate all those things in seconds.
It really makes you wonder if that's where we're going to be going to in this world.
I think it's genius.
Yeah.
I mean, whether I like or against it, I don't really care. It's the process in which they're doing the RUU stuff. It's a threat to their business.
Right.
AI is a credible threat to their business. So they've doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down on like, no, you're not going to be able to hack this. We're going to know everything about it.
And it's interesting because, the cost of a bad hire
Right.
it's mind blowing for
Right.
the organization. And so, these are the pains that recruiters have to deal with. That am I bringing in the right person for the hiring manager to meet? Are they going to represent themselves the way I've met them as a candidate?
100%.
And now you are taking a risk on that person. So it's their credibility.
That happened to me. Interview candidate, this is 100 years ago. Interview candidate, wonderful. I'm like all-star. Put it in front of the hiring manager. Evidently, that was their best day. They took the meds, whatever the bid is. That was a good day for them. Horrible experience. Hiring manager's like, are you crazy? Like, this person couldn't put sentences together. I'm like, okay.
Well, you think about it. Take any job posting in the world right now.
Right.
I bet within 10 minutes, you can have a resume ready to apply for that job. It'll be 100%.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. I think I'm tracking Google and what they're doing with Google Pixel with images is next year, the next edition of the phone is they're going to mark pictures AI or not AI.
Oh.
So even your own photos.
Wow.
So you take a photo that's not AI.
That's good.
And then if it's a photo that's been altered or driven by AI, it will say AI. And then they're going to move to content. Text-based content.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's going to be fascinating.
It is really fascinating.
It's really
When your resume turns bright red,
Yeah.
because you generated all of it.
Don't hire this person. All right, last question. We're here a year from now, and we're talking Daxter. What are we talking about?
So with Talent Flow, the first agent we built was the screening agent. So we're going to quickly screen, building scheduling agents. Where we have a really cool explainability agent where, as a hiring manager or a recruiter, I can ask the AI questions about this person. Do you think this person can be a leader? Do you think this person? And it will self-help. But one of the things we thought really quickly was we can't predict the parts of the workflow that recruiters need automated.
100%. They're all different.
Right. Yes, and your organizations has different processes and so forth. So, but I think we're doing. I
It
think
makes you agile because they involve different people, process, and technology.
right.
So it's like, okay, I would say like everyone's a little special snowflake, but maybe everyone's a special snowflake and never know.
And we'll never predict that snowflake, right?
Right.
So what we're doing is trying to solve the problem by building agents that make new agents for the recruiter. So the recruiter gets to define what's the trigger point and what's the engineering prompts that it needs.
Do you see that as it becomes down job based or rec based?
I do. I think it's rec based. So you may, or even hiring it. So maybe if you're a hiring manager and you want to get a bot to notify you every time there's a candidate with a 95 or above, hey, agent, do this for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we're going to quit predicting what recruiters need and start give them tooling to build their own agents and kind of attack it from that.
And this way that comes on top of that is you just take them through the bid. And then it's like, okay, you want to ask this question, do you care about things? Is this important to you? With this job, which is so much better than like 2 or 3 years ago when these agents were so generic, that it's like, okay, it would be helpful, right? But, I've got 19 different reps, they're all different. So that's not going to get you to the place I want. But what you're talking about is highly personalized, from hiring manager to the job, to the recruiter, to the exception.
Yeah, so we're talking tech. So that's the way we see Talent Flow going. So we're really excited about what that's going to enable for recruitment teams. And to your exact word you said, agility. We want to be agile.
Drops mic, walks off stage. Don, thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
All right. And thanks everybody for listening. Until next time. And- Okay, so we are still streaming. So we'll let you know. We are still- I don't, something's gonna end up on the